It's Vashon versus Sumner, and it's homecoming weekend. It's week 8 of high school football. That means there's only 2 weeks left, and then after that, the playoffs are right around the corner. For me, this week is special. It's big for the public high league in the city. I'm dubbing it PHL weekend, and I'll be there all weekend for the games. First, on Friday night, you have a big game between Roosevelt and Career Academy. That game at Gateway STEM. That game is for the PHL championship. First, Roosevelt, a team which did not win a game last year. They're 5-2 and experienced a great turnaround season under the direction of Trey Porter, doing an excellent job. Meanwhile, Miller Career Academy, this is old hat for them. In recent years, they've been a constant contender for public high league championships. They've done well in the playoffs, and they've had a very solid program. So it should be a good one at Gateway for the PHL championship. Which brings us to Saturday afternoon in one of the biggest events on the PHL calendar for the year. It's Vashon versus Sumner, and it's homecoming weekend, which is more than a football game for these two great institutions. It's an event. These are the two oldest black high schools in the St. Louis metropolitan area, and they celebrate their homecoming activities together. And young people, older people, senior citizens, they come from all over the country to be a part of this special weekend in the Ville. It's going to be a good football game, but since 1927, these two teams have been playing for the old brown jug. They used to play on Thanksgiving, and it'll be a tremendous event. I look forward to being a part of it on Saturday. And also on Saturday, Soldan High School is hosting Live for Life at 1 o'clock. But the big thing is, at halftime, they'll be celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 1978 Soldan team, which won the Public High League Championship and finished with a perfect 9-0 season. So it's going to be a big weekend in the PHL. Look forward to it. And to continue to get updates on these great events and the athletes in St. Louis, make sure to give me a follow on Twitter at Earl Austin Jr., hashtag EarlTimeUpdate. Now, you know what's next, folks. It's time for those St. Louis American shout-outs. Of course, we'll start with some teams. First, the Eureka Wildcats, out of the gate at 7-0, having a great season. And they had a big victory at Kirkwood last week, 42-28. Congratulations, Eureka. Also, Fort Zumwalt North High School having another tremendous season at 7-0. They were in the state semifinals in Class 5, and they're looking good again this season. Thanks to Eric Geis for the nice photo of Carol Payne, very talented running back for the Panthers. Volleyball, the Maplewood Blue Devils are 19-0 and having a tremendous season. When you're 19-0 at this juncture of the season, you're really doing some nice things. Also, the Hazelwood West girls tennis team, congratulations, they won a Class 2 district championship last week at Hazelwood West, and also had some very talented individuals qualify for sectionals. Shia Prescott, a sophomore, was a singles champion in the individual in tennis, and Jamira Meeks and Jordan Jackson were district champions in doubles and sectional qualifiers. So congratulations to the Wildcats. And Hazelwood East football, the Spartans, they had a big victory over Fox last weekend, 24-20, at a big rally. They trailed 20-8 in the fourth quarter. The quarterback, Torrey Dyson, staged 2 big drives, and Hazelwood East able to pull out a big victory over a previously undefeated Fox team. Congratulations to all of those teams. Now for some players. First, Antonio Sanders of Eureka. Young man had a big game in that victory over Kirkwood. He had this 85-yard touchdown return on a screen pass. He also had a big interception. He was a big play performer on both sides of the ball. Young lady who plays golf out of MICDS, her name is Parker Perry, a junior. She was a Class 1 district champion and a sectional champion in playoff competition last week. She will now compete in the Class 1 state tournament in Maryville next week. And a young lady from McClure South Berkeley, a sophomore named Destiny Sims, a very talented softball player and a catcher, hitting better than 500 this year for the Bulldogs, who have the #1 seed in their district tournament, which is going on this week. And finally, a very special St. Louis American shout out to comedian and talk show host Ellen DeGeneres, who had a tremendous gesture this weekend for a bunch of young men in North County. She, along in conjunction with the CW and the score, and I should say the TV show All-American Football, donated $25,000 to the McClure South Berkeley football program and head coach Howard Brown. I can't think of a better recipient for this recognition than Howard Brown. He's done a tremendous job at Berkeley. He was a graduate of Berkeley as a football star, went to the University of Missouri, has been an excellent coach for the Bulldogs for the past 15 seasons. He's led them to a lot of winning seasons, playoff appearances, but even better yet, he's been a coach, a mentor, a father figure, a big brother in helping develop young men in the community. He's just done a tremendous job on and off the football field. So congratulations to Coach Howard Brown and McClure South Berkeley, and thanks to Ellen DeGeneres for that wonderful gesture. So that wraps up another week of the St. Louis Sports Break, but you can continue to follow the St. Louis American newspaper every Thursday or catch us online at stlamerican.com. Well, I was inducted into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame on September the 26th. I was part of the class of 2018 with some great athletes who were part of the St. Louis community as sports stars like Terry Metcalf, Andy Van Slyke, Kenny Holtzman, Marty Hogan, and Keith Kachuk. And also one former St. Louis high school athlete was inducted as well, Tony Van Zant from Hazelwood Central, who was one of the top players ever in the St. Louis metro area. He was a great running back. He had injury problems in college and kind of curtailed his career after high school, but he was a megastar in high school and one of the best this area has ever seen. And I look forward down the road, you'll definitely see some current athletes from the St. Louis metropolitan area. There'll be future Hall of Famers in the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, and St. Louis, and maybe Major League Baseball, NBA, football. That's on the table as well. We have young people who have gone on to, in the World Series, win gold medals in the Olympics, be in the NBA Finals, and win championships, and win Most Valuable Player, Cy Young Award winners. So we have some great athletes who not only were great while they were in high school in St. Louis, but they've gone on to the collegiate and sometimes professional ranks and have become stars as well.